Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could, look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month, teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching, as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out.
As I stated in the prior episode, we really create a framework around understanding people's motivator. Don't try to motivate until you first understand what motivates. So it begs the question, how do you find out someone's motivator? First of all, questions are critical. And I remember we were working with a financial institution right near the end of the pandemic, if you will, in 2022. And I remember about 55% of the people in their emerging leader program had dropped out. And someone said, geez, what's wrong with the program? What's wrong with the program? I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with the program. They probably saw what management's going through and their motivations changed. See, the WIFT, what's in it for them is what people want, their desired state. So think about crafting questions such as, what's your end game? What do you want to be doing? What would you love to be doing, 16 months from now that maybe you're not doing at all or not enough of right now? What are 2 things that you'd like to be doing more of that maybe you're not doing enough of right now? What's something that you dislike about your current job? See, there's 2 types of motivation. There's intrinsic and extrinsic. Extrinsic is I see what I'm currently doing as an apparatus for something next. It could be a promotion. It could also not be a promotion. Again, if you want to read a great book, read Julie Winkle-Giulioni's book, Promotions Are So Yesterday. She identifies 7 specific reasons why people are motivated outside of just getting promoted. People who are intrinsically motivated are motivated by what they're currently doing. And I love sharing this story. I have a friend and she's a graphic designer. Now, it's really funny when you think about graphic design, you think about fun and design, and she works for an agency and you get to work with clients. She's actually an introvert. She's actually very quiet. And the company kind of sensed something in her, and she called me and she said, I got to find a new job. And I said, right. They said, they want to promote me to a people manager. I said, oh. And she goes, I don't want to do it. That's not what motivates me. I said, wait a minute. Don't leave the company. What a wonderful gesture, albeit their intentions are out of alignment with what you want. You have the opportunity to tell them. And so we crafted some language pieces, went back, and then her friend got the promotion, who, by the way, was not as talented as a graphic designer. So then I gave her some conversation techniques about how they could move forward together positively. And the funny thing was, the company was well-intentioned, but they didn't understand what motivated her. Her motivation was, and I asked her, I said, what really turns you on every day of what you do? She said, I love to design from scratch. I love to get a concept from a client and go from A to Z. And I don't like to work with other people. I like to work on my own. I use all these tools. And her whole active changed. Her percentage of energy went up. She was like a different person. And I looked at her and I go, managing people, what's your first thought? She goes, ugh. So here's the funny thing. We have to ask questions. One sequence I always encourage you to ask, especially for the current state. Bob, currently, based on your job today, what do you love? What do you like? What do you dislike? Futuristically, what would you like to be doing that if you weren't doing what you're doing now? What would you love about that? What would you like? What would you dislike? You'll start to get a sense if they're intrinsic or extrinsically motivated. And yes, people can change. Someone can be intrinsic and then become extrinsic. That's why the dialogue around motivation is so key. That's why questions are so critical. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21 day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.